Hey Taurus, how you doing? Elsie here with a bonus read. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. And how you doing out there with all the craziness going on? Taurus, look, there's so much going on right now astrologically. So look, you know my spiel. I always say I'm here to read for the present or the future energy. I don't plan on looking anything back there, but we all know what we all know. And that is that we're currently in the energy of Aquarius full moon. We are currently in the energy of the Lionsgate portal. We are currently in the energy of just about everything else in retrograde, including Mercury. So may the odds be forever in your favor. I'm just going to say, I'm going to do my best. You do your best, and that's all we can do. Let's find out what's going on. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What does the Taurus collective need to know? My bull gang, what do they need to know? Let's find out what's going on with Taurus. Hey, if you're brand new and you just rolled up on the shenanigans, I hope you'll stay. We have a really, really big Taurus group here. All right. We have High Priestess, the Four of Cups, and the Death card. All right, wait, I got to get more on the table here. Somebody is worried that they're going to be rejected and that will be the end of it. That if they get rejected, surely they will die. And I giggle because, I'm not talking about death, right? I'm talking about, like, it feels like somebody here thinks, that the silence means that it's over. That's what it is. Somebody here is thinking that the silence means I've been rejected. Taurus are jumping to conclusions. Wouldn't be unlike you to jump to conclusions. But you've jumped to a conclusion here thinking that the silence equals rejection. That it definitely must be over. I didn't win. They didn't choose me. I didn't get the job. The person didn't pick me. Whatever it is, it feels like that's what you're equating the silence to. But I think that the silence is because they haven't chosen you yet because they are going through all the candidates, or that person hasn't said anything to you yet because they're deep in thought, thinking about trying to connect with the universe, trying to connect with their own intuition, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Tell me more. Got the Two of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and the Star. Oh, okay. Well, the Two of Swords in the reverse tells me somebody's making a decision, or a decision has been made. Now, I think that, the swords, of course, are different from the pentacles. The swords, to me, that's up in the mind, right? This is Libra energy. And so somebody is trying to find the balance. So you could be dealing with a Libra. And look, if you're dealing with a Libra, Taurus, it's like you and the Libra can spend forever out thinking each other. Because you have to be stable and secure and steady and move slow. And they have to keep everything in balance while they have everything up in the head making a decision. You could be dealing with a Scorpio who also is strategic and slow. You could be dealing with an Aquarius who's also a fixed sign. We're dealing with all these slow moving overthinking signs, right? And so we've got Pisces here as well, Capricorn. So I feel like the mind already knows the answer. This is a future energy on the bottom of the deck for me. The mind already knows the answer. In my mind, I've made the decision. But now I just have to take what I'm thinking about and bring it into the pentacle world and get balance. So it goes from, the balance of the mind, I've made the decision. I think it feels like somebody's making a decision about you, but I also feel like you're the one who thinks because they haven't said anything to you yet, that, of course, that was the end of it, right? That you might as well move on because it's all the dramatic things. Might as well move on. They're not choosing me. They chose someone else. I'm not second choice and all of that stuff. And that's not what's going on here, I don't think. I feel like somebody's just having a hard time making a decision because they're trying to keep their balance while they do it. So I feel like somebody here is also very busy. So their life is very busy. They're also trying to make decisions and keep all the balls in the air. Their intuition, they're going back and forth with the intuition, back and forth and back and forth. They want to make the right decision, but they also want to make the healed decision. They want their wish fulfillment, but they also want it to be smooth sailing. So it does feel like you're dealing with a sign that requires balance or stability. So maybe an earth sign, maybe Libra possibly, or maybe one of the fixed signs who is very slow to making a decision. Tell me about the Four of Cups. Why does Taurus think that they've been rejected? I really do think that it's just a period of thought. Somebody gets into the comfort zone where they're trying to keep like everything in the boat. They don't want to rock the boat. And so they don't want to make the wrong decision. So they're in sort of analysis paralysis. They're not making a decision at all at this moment. But I think that they're thinking about it. We've got the 8 of Cups. We've got the 5 of Cups. And we've got the 8 of Pentacles. They're working on it. They're working on it, and they're working on it really hard. Look, when we look at the 8 of Pentacles, it's Virgo energy, and that is the energy of I've got to do it perfectly. This person has a perfection issue. So it feels like fixed energy. It could be, but it also could be this Libra energy, because Libra will let the world around them burn down to the ground as long as they feel balanced in the decision that they make. Do you understand what I mean? Like, they will, to the exclusion of everything else, make sure that they were in balance. So I feel like there is somebody here who's trying to keep steady, sturdy, balanced, and they're somebody who is over analytical, and they are working on trying to make a decision. The 5 of Cups tells me with the 8 of Pentacles that I want to be careful and analytical and reassess the situation and make sure that I'm doing the right thing, not only the right thing, but the perfect thing, because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be in regret, and I don't want to hurt anybody. I do feel like somebody here is going to detach from the comfort zone. So they are going to come out of the comfort zone, and they are going to show you some emotion. The reason this person's not making a decision about you just yet, Taurus, that's what the delay is. The delay is that they know that the 2 Cups is out there, but they don't want to settle for just anything. And it's not that you're boring. It's not that you're just anything, Taurus. It's that they don't want to hurt you. So what they don't want to do is jump into it and then decide, oh, this is not for me, and then have to back out. So guess what? That tells me you're dealing with someone who's quite emotionally aware. And so this is what it looks like when you're not dealing with a love bomber, whether you're feminine or masculine. When you're dealing with a love bomber, they don't care about all that stuff. They just want the hot thing, and that's it, we're in. And this is somebody who is actually trying to keep balance. They're trying to keep balance. They're being very analytical. They have a lot of responsibility on their plate. And they are somebody who's also checking in with their intuition. And that seems to be going back and forth and back and forth. What's the intuition saying here? We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm too immature. Maybe it is, maybe I shouldn't surprise them. I shouldn't just blurt it out. I shouldn't surprise them. Tell me about the Page of Cups. Okay, so I've got to go slow. I've got to make sure that I go slow, that I do it with depth and energy and empathy. And so somebody here is trying to figure out what to say, how to say it, how to do it. So I'm going to say that they've already made this decision that they're going to do it. They've already made the decision that they're going to hire you, or that they're going to want to date you, or whatever the situation is. But I feel like they're trying to find the right way to do it. So they don't look as though they're gushing on you. So they don't look as though they're overly emotional. This person is somebody who I feel in their comfort zone likes to keep their emotions stable. 4s are always about stability, and I've got the 4 of Cups here. But this person would rather stay in their comfort zone alone, where they get kind of stagnant a little bit, than be rejected. They don't want to be rejected. I feel like this person, like, in their intuition is like, okay, I've got to be sturdy and steady with my emotions, and I need to give this person, let them know that that I'm interested in them, interested in having them work for the company, that I really want them on my team in the company, because like they have like this dream resume, or that this person is feeling like I shouldn't spring it on them, because it feels like you could be in this High Priestess energy as well. It could be a twinned energy. Like, I'm not talking about twins or twin flames, but I'm talking about both of you might be highly psychic, or both of you might be really into waiting until it feels right instead of just jumping in, because look, we don't have any wands, right? So it's all analytical, slow moving. Water is slow moving. I don't want to spring it on them. I want to make sure that I do this in an even and balanced way. But here you are, you're over here like, oh, that's it. They've rejected me. It's over. I might as well move on. Tell me what's going on over here. Taurus. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So look, I feel like you are doing this in a very balanced way, though. I think that you're like, meh, it is what it is. You know, I didn't get chosen. They didn't want me for the job, or maybe I just wasn't that person's cup of tea. I feel like you're being very balanced in this decision to move forward here, that you're like, okay, well, they didn't pick me. They didn't pick me. It would be the first time someone didn't pick me. I feel like you're friends with this person, or that they're in your friendship group or in your community or your network. It feels like you get along with them really well. We've got 2 pentacles and 1 in the hand of the Queen. And you're like, well, you know what? If they don't want to, if they're not interested in me in that way, they haven't approached me that way yet. If they're not interested in me that way, then I'm just going to continue being who I'm being. I'm going to be solid and grounded, and I know my worth anyway. So maybe I'll just continue to be friends with this person. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a very dramatic situation. It feels like a bunch of adults dealing in adult stuff and being adults. So I feel like you are, you have decided that this person is not choosing you. So whether it's the job, the situation, or the romantic situation, it feels like you feel that there is, your intuition is telling you that there are feelings here, but they're under the surface, and this person can't seem to bring them to the surface and get them all straightened out. And so you're just going to move on and find something elsewhere. You're just going to move on to victory and happiness and continue to make your money. And I feel like, though, that you're going to continue to watch them, like watch them online, maybe watch them in person. Like, I think that you two are in the same friend group, or in the same community, or on the same team, or whatever it is. So I feel like you're going to continue to watch them. If it's an employer, you're going to continue to watch the postings. Did they repost it? Have they hired anybody yet? Like, usually they'll close the post, but the post is still there. And did they repost it? I feel like you're really watching very closely to see what the next step is here. Tell me what's going on with this 2 of Pentacles. Somebody here is volleying back and forth and back and forth. They really do believe here that you are the wish fulfillment. So that you're the perfect person for the job, or that you are the person who makes them feel really healed and balanced, and you have a really great vibe, you have a good energy. You're somebody who, when they're in your presence or in your vortex here, they feel very healed and very balanced, like they feel very in balance. And I think this is what is going on in the mind. Like, maybe I should, because this person gives me a great feeling here. We've got the 7 of Pentacles, we've got the 4 of Swords, and the World card. So this person feels like, you know, I think that they're not really used to exposing themselves this way. It feels like with the 4 of Swords that they're a person who's maybe a little bit nervous, or, you know, kind of holds back a little bit. It feels like this person's been hurt before. And so I feel like they do want to say something, because this person is holding on to the Ace of Swords. They do want to say something, but the 3 swords are in the bed. So they have been hurt before, or heartbroken before, and that's why they're holding back or waiting. They're waiting until they see something come to the surface. Like, you know, when you plant seeds and you don't really know if it's viable until you start to see it poke through the soil. And I feel like that's what they're looking for. They're looking for something from you that indicates that maybe you are interested in them, and I'm not saying chase, because this is pre-Empress energy. You wouldn't be chasing. I'm saying they're looking for a look, or that you will spend most of your time talking to them, or, you know what I mean? All of those little cues that maybe you are interested in them, and that you haven't completely turned away. Tell me what else Taurus needs to know about the situation. They're going to connect with you. They're going to contact you, but I think they're a little bit scared. It feels like they're holding back, because the comfort zone for them is being at the crossroads. It's like they're on the edge. Oh, okay. I'm seeing somebody, like I'm seeing like a cookout and people in the backyard, and it feels like somebody is like by the fence, around the fence, maybe talking to people around the fence, but they're watching you, and they're kind of watching, are you going to make eye contact? Are you looking at them? Will there be eye contact across the yard? And I don't know if this is happening in the yard, be honest. I'm just looking at what Charlie's giving me. So Charlie is my guide, by the way, and he gives me clairvoyancy, so I'm looking at pictures in my mind. So I feel like this Page of Wands tells me there is a spark between you. There is a spark, there is an interest, and this person is looking for interest. They're looking for you to sort of see them across the give them the eye across the room or across the yard, and that's what's going to give them the spark to move forward, to leave this Two of Wands and take action. Because right now they're kind of shut off or shut down. They're kind of just holding back a little bit until they see this little glint in your eye or a little bit of interest. A little spark, I think. See if you're looking at them when they're looking at you. Tell me what's going to happen here with Taurus, please. How is this going to work itself out? What happens next? So let's just say you're in the backyard. They look at you. You look at them. You catch their eye. What happens next? Three of Cups. They walk over. Maybe they bring you a drink. Do you have a drink? Can I get you a drink? Can I get you a plate of food? Can I get you whatever it is? It feels like they when you sort of make the eye contact with them, that's giving them the idea that you want them to come over. So I don't care if you're the feminine or the masculine. That wouldn't be chasing. That would be just sort of giving them your energy, saying, yeah, come on over. So I feel like this person does make their way over, but they're really, three reallys, hesitant. It feels like the Five of Wands is they're fighting themselves because they're usually like shut off and shut down. Maybe they haven't dated in a while. The Devil is here. Okay, so all this crazy reel is going on in their head. Like, am I approaching them and they think that I'm the weirdo because I'm approaching them? Maybe they didn't give me the look. Maybe they weren't looking at me. Maybe they're looking at the person standing next to me. It feels like this obsessive feeling of, am I doing the right thing? So this person is really careful. And they don't want to make a decision that is going to hurt you or hurt them or that they'll feel in regret of, because they don't want to leave this the way it is. They do want to make connection with you, but they want to make sure that you're interested in it. They feel that they've known you before, or that they have that our spirits know each other, that maybe the bodies are not familiar with each other, but I feel like I've known you somewhere before, like you're drawing me in. So what's the outcome here? Outcome is Justice. I said you might be dealing with a Libra, and so it could be an air sign. It doesn't have to be a Libra, but because we have Aquarius here as well, but we do have Libra and Taurus, and then we have Libra, and then we have the Ace of Swords. So that's really interesting. So I do feel that this person does just want to get sort of even ground with the Empress. And now I know why they're nervous or approaching slowly, because I feel like we're dealing with an Empress. I feel like somebody is about to approach the Empress and make conversation. But they want to make really balanced conversation, and they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to hurt themselves. This person, I feel, is going to make conversation. Well, look at that. There we go. This Emperor, that's what's going on. This person is an Emperor. And look, I've told you guys before, the Emperor is not just going to jump in. The Emperor is not a love bomber. The Emperor is the person who stays in control. They're the person who stays in control in the situation. They're emotionally available. They're a person who gets what they want usually, but they're always going to wait to see if they're going in for the win. Because the Emperor's not going in with the win. When you pull out the scroll for the Emperor, it's going to say a bunch of wins. It's not going to say maybe, probably, I shouldn't have. It's never going to be that. The Emperor is always going to be, okay, now I'm going in. And this person is somebody who approaches slowly and wants to make sure from a distance that they're going to get the victory. So they're looking at a distance. They're watching at a distance before they approach you here. We've got the Magician, and we've got the Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands. So I feel like this ends up moving into something into the future here, which is, we're going to give each other reciprocal energy, or somebody's made a decision. I really want to, take you out, or I really want to give you what you're giving me. So I feel like if you're giving them attention, they're giving you attention, vice versa, right? Going into the future here. But it does feel like somebody feels like you're sort of magical. It feels like that they're very attracted to you, that they just want to jump on it, but they're not. They're holding back because they know that they've got all the aces up the sleeve. The Emperor has all the aces up the sleeve. It feels like you might be someone that they've been manifesting, like they might have been manifesting an Empress, because the Emperor, it doesn't really want to get involved with a page or a queen, right? They want someone who has as much wisdom as they do. So that's what it feels like is going on here. Taurus, I'm just going to leave it right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. That was kind of interesting and cool. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. See you, Bull Gang. Bye.